What is going on, everyone? My name is BoIt and I am back with some more Age of Mythology action. Spawning in the top right of the map in the red color playing Thor is the one, the only Brickhead, and his opponent today in the blue color playing Set is the Mista. I guess first I should apologize. I had a big move away from home. I'm at uni now and I've been snowed under, no time whatsoever to get these games out, to do any more shoutcasting basically. So this is probably the first opportunity that I've actually had in recent months to get stuff out. So I'm really excited to be delivering this game to you. I haven't watched it. I just went straight to RTS-Sanctuary, downloaded this game, and hoping that it's going to be some quality. Mista is obviously known as a Zeus player. He might have changed over the recent months into a Set player, but when I left, he was strictly a Zeus player. He did get his ass handed to him a couple of times by the amazing Magyar's Set. So maybe he's decided to convert because he can't. Well, as you say, if you can't beat them, join them. Brickhead, on the other hand, I don't really know much about. I'm not sure if it's the real Brickhead. There was a Brickhead back in I think 2006, 2005-ish, who was a very strong Thor player on Nilla. Like, he played Age of Mythology, the original version, and was always in the top 20 in that era. I guess I can talk a bit about strategy. I'm really out of it, so I don't actually know what's the current strategies, but I'm guessing Set, Egyptian, you're going to want to be aggressive against Norse. In my experience when I played against Norse, if you decide to sit back and boom and let the Norse player do what he wants, then there's that problem with economy. I can't talk. There's a problem with economy. Because the Norse's economy is so much stronger than you, it's just ridiculous how strong Norse economy is. I don't understand why. I can't work it out. They're just really strong, and they just always have more resources than you. It's just that their army is so expensive and takes so long to build that you can take advantage of that. If you let them boom while you boom, then that leaves the opportunity for Ragnaroks and flaming weapons and all that bad stuff which you don't want to happen. What you can do as a Set player is get really aggressive on that home gold mine. It's a little bit out of the way. You'd have to walk around here and attack it, or shifting sands right onto it. One of the two would be really strong. Also, as a point, what you can do is a 330 advance as the Set player, advance into the classical age. At 430, make one priest, Pharaoh, wander over to their base, shifting sands, like do some damage. If you can get 4 villages instead of 3, shifting sands, then back to your base, kill them all, and then you'll be sitting pretty for quite some time. He has a lot to do to catch up as the Thor player. But that being said, as the Thor player, obviously your best bet is to do some sort of semi-fast heroic, flaming weapons on their second gold mine. If they're being very aggressive, you're going to have to get out some throwing axemen. You're going to want to hit the heroic age at least by 10 minutes, which is okay. And then you're going to want to, again, use flaming weapons. You're going to want some Herser at some point as well to deal with the ancestors. And if you can gold starve with that flaming weapons, it's going to be really strong. If not, you're going to want to sit back and boom and try and get off a strong Ragnarok or something like that. It's not an easy matchup by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. We do see Brickhead going through Freya, pretty standard, and we're probably going to see Mista. No, Mista has not advanced at all. So we'll see what actually happens here. He's actually he's going to be hitting the classical age in about 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So he's definitely going to have some ability to shift sands, get aggressive. He's got all of these animals as well, which is really strong. He can get in there, he can shift away like 3 villages and leave the animals there to pick off the other ones. He does, Brickhead does have, what's it called, pig sticker, but you know, that's that, and that's what you're going to see. And we do see an interesting thing by Mista, which I haven't seen in quite some time. He hasn't gotten any wood at all, which means he's not going to get pickaxe, he's not going to have husbandry, and his economy is going to really be suffering. So he's going to have to abuse that early advance as much as possible. Taking out 3 villages is it's okay, but that being said, you haven't got pickaxe, which by this stage of the game, which can amount to quite a lot of gold, which can obviously equal the 3 villages that you killed of Brickhead. We do see that Brickhead hasn't got his upgrades either, because he's also advanced very quickly, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. This old site could be picked off, but it looks like Mista not paying attention or doesn't care enough to. He just wants to get these villages right here. He's going to shifting sands, something like that, I imagine, and he'll be able to take some of them. Oh, no, too slow. Mista not playing as good as I'm used to. It's going to be interesting to see what he can pull off though. He is throwing up a bag, so he is going to be getting some form of aggression in the classical age, or he's just using what he can for what he can, and he has managed to pick off 2 dwarves and ox cart. So not 100% efficiency. However, getting that ox cart is going to set Brickhead back quite a little bit, because, like, you know, he's got all of this gold that's not coming into his funds. Like, he's got all of these villages like running back and forth. That time spent walking back to your town center and then back can be equivalent to 15 gold, 30 gold. Like, it's a lot of walking time, and it's a lot of lost gold. So good play by Mista, and look at the scores. His scores caught up a lot. His economy is in decent shape. Unfortunately for Mista, he isn't in a position to really be able to fight this. With all of these Herso, they're going to be able to take out these animals very quickly, and he's going to have to micro to the best of his ability. That is, Mista will be to be able to survive here. I mean, he's going to be able to pick off 1 Herso. However, there are a lot of animals dying. But the thing which is important to note here is that he isn't really losing that many priests, as he just loses a fair amount of priests, which is bad for him. And Brickhead really strong attack here. He's going to be able to push off Hunt if he continues it up with some more units. However, Spearman coming into the fray now, I don't think that Brickhead's going to be able to keep pushing in here. He probably should retreat. Maybe if he can get out a second Valkyrie to heal that Valkyrie up, it's going to be really strong. We'll see what happens there. Actually, he's just going to hang around, so he's probably going to lose all these units. He's going to pick up a couple of villages, and yeah, now all he has to simply do, I think it's good trade for Brickhead. I definitely think he's come out on top with that. He's picked up a lot of those free animals, so he's not going to have to deal with them, and he can just retreat back to his base, heal up with another Valkyrie, with this Valkyrie and another one to heal up the current Valkyrie, of course, and then he'll be able to probably raid a little bit with those raiding cavalry and do what he can to win this game. Mista still hasn't gotten any gold, which is... I hate it. I'm just going to be honest right there and say that. If you don't get economic upgrades, you're going to fall behind. Like, you can make it work, but you have to be extremely aggressive, and we don't see this by Mista. It just looks like I don't know, it's not the best play. Instead of putting all of these villages onto food and gold, just 2 villages when you hit the classical age to wood. Get pickaxe as soon as you can. Get husbandry, because that's so much gold. I mean, so much more food gets gathered if you have husbandry, and so on and so forth. Like, you get those upgrades, and your economy is really strong. In any case, I don't know what relic that is, but we do see Brickhead trying to gather some more favor, and that Valkyrie is still in low HP. I'd really like to see Brickhead thinking about getting that second Valkyrie out. Brickhead, on the other hand, he hasn't even thought about going to the heroic age. He doesn't have an armory, and he doesn't have a good unit composition to economic composition to get to that heroic age in the next 2 minutes, which he really needs to. We do see, if we look at the gold mine of Mista, he's got 1700 gold left, so that's probably going to last him a good 2-3 minutes, depending on like what he's going to do with that. He doesn't have the gold, however, to throw up a Migdol as soon as he hits the heroic age, so we're going to have to see what he chooses to do here. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he just went straight to the mythic age, but he's got 10 villages on wood, so I don't think that's an option for him. We're just going to see a little bit of raiding going on here with these spearmen. There's not much that Mista can really do bar lose these spearmen. He might pick up one villager, but these spearmen are all going to die if he doesn't run away with them. And he actually two villagers for that raid. Really nice job by Mista there. That's going to keep him in the game. Every villager you pick off is massive in this game. Like 5 villagers, being 5 villagers ahead at the 10-minute mark can equate to being 50 villagers ahead at the 15-minute mark. Something stupid like that. It's like it just multiplies if you play correctly, and your opponent doesn't play optimally, of course. We do see a Migdol going up on this town center here. He's going to secure this. It's not securing a gold mine, however. It's just securing the town center. So he still has to be wary of that. These 2 gold mines need to be, well, either one of those gold mines need to be secured at some point. We do see he has another 1300 gold to use before he has to worry about that, however. So getting this town center is priority, getting this gold mine is the next priority. So he's going to be able to do that. I don't think that this raid here is going to be able to prevent that Migdol coming up with all these spearmen here. It's not like they can do much. However, that spearman getting a little bit cocky there, thinks he can take on a pack of raiding cavalries. He does manage to keep him alive, however. 1 HP remaining. Definitely needs to start healing those up, which is a thing I love about Egyptians. If you get like 1 priest in your army, then you can always have a full HP army, which is really, really strong. We do see the Migdol stronghold managing to get up, and those raiding cavalry are going to have to get out of there. They're not going to take any damage from the Migdol fire. Well, they are, if they're just going to sit there and take it, but whatever. Chariot's now coming out. He's got 600 gold in his bank, and he's going to keep them coming out. We do see the raiding cavalry getting a little bit too angsty there. They're going to take some needless damage, actually losing one of them for that. A little bit careless by Brickhead. And now Mista's going to have some sort of map control. He's not going to be able to prevent any gold mines from being gathered. However, the map control is going to be his in these important areas. If he throws a wall across here, and then that gold mine is going to be quite nicely. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to have that gold mine. In the case of raid going on here, Mista does notice that it's coming through, removes these villagers from that spot, does realise that that is an aggressive hunting spot. I mean, one would say that's an aggressive hunting spot, but because there's a Migdol stronghold here, it really isn't. And looks like, whoa, Mista getting very aggressive here. I don't think this is a good idea. Actually, as ancestors, never mind. It's a great idea. If you've got ancestors, you can do whatever you want aggressively, because you just get that free army, which means that your enemy has to run away. And he's got all these ancestors attacking this town center as well as the spearmen. Going to keep this town center down, going to prevent any economic boom from Brickhead. However, Brickhead picking up a couple of stray units here with those raiding cavalry. The town center is definitely going to fall in this ancestors. It looks like Brickhead's going to be in a little bit of hurt right now. He's going to have to make something happen. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do. Anyhow, I think this town center is going to fall. Brickhead's going to have to try and pick off some of these units at this point. It looks like Mista stopping the hurt on the town center, keeping those minions on it, however. Going to be trying to pick off this dwarf. However, a little bit of a raid going on over here. Actually, no, that's not a raid. It's just picking off some stray units when really the priority should be defending this location, which doesn't look like he can do. He didn't have the Herser to deal with it, and he wasn't in the heroic age to use flaming weapons or frost to counter that those minion waves. So looks like Brickhead's going to have to pull something out of the bag here to come back. He's got this gold mine exposed, and if Mista notices that, which it looks like he is, yeah, he's heading right over there. Or is he? Does he see it? Yeah, he's seen the gold mine. He knows that's the most likely gold mine to be spotted to attack. So he's going to just head over there. He's going to be able to pick off these Orcrocs, hunting villages, and he's going to have to deal with this multi-pronged attack. I love this by Brickhead. Attacking from 2 sides means that Mista has to split up his spearmen onto both sides, and he's got these chariot archers sitting in the middle, really doing little to no damage because it's mostly running cavalry. However, I believe that there were enough spearmen, and Mista split up his army well enough that he's going to... I don't know if he'll win this fight, actually. Brickhead's not microing that well. A lot of these raiding cavalry are running around and not doing anything. They're not dodging arrows, and it looks like Brickhead gonna retreat these villagers over to his base, and unfortunately for Brickhead, Mista is too smart, and he's gonna know that these dwarves are gonna be having to run away, and I don't think that Brickhead's gonna be able to do much from this location. He's not gonna be able to get to the heroic age. doesn't have the gold, he doesn't have the food, and he's not going to be able to gather any gold. He is sending a raiding party over to this gold mine over here. However, Mista still hasn't started gathering from that. He's actually choosing... Wait, where is he gathering from? That's probably not the gold mine I would have... That's definitely not the gold mine I would think that Mista will be taking. It's really interesting how he plays. What he's done is he's gone, okay, that's the most likely gold mine. That's the second most likely gold mine. That's the third most likely gold mine. That's never going to get scouted. Like, you just know. Like, that's the last place he's going to check. So, he can just happily do what he wants. And Brickhead's just going to be running around going to this gold mine, going to that gold mine, going, where is he, where is he? He's never going to be able to find it. Anyhow, Mista now still putting on the aggression. He really needs to get over to this location and stop these gold miners happening. Brickhead, on the other hand, only has 65 population to Mista's 115. Mista really needs to think about getting up a second town centre and really abusing this advantage that he has at the moment. Yes, gold starving would win in the game, but when ahead, get more ahead. You don't want to risk losing a game just because you think you can end it. In this circumstance, I don't think that Mista really has a chance of losing, unless Brickhead suddenly becomes like the most godly player known to man. But seeing his playstyle and how well he's playing at this stage of the game, or before this stage of the game, I don't think he's going to have the micro to be able to deal with Mista's army. Like, what you have to do, and it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but you have to be instantly microing those raiding cavalry. If those chariots focus fire any one of those raiding cavalry, they can be invincible if they start moving. All you have to do, and it's really easy to say, but all you have to do is make those cavalry move if they're getting attacked. If they're not getting attacked, then just be happy that they're not getting attacked, and you just keep attacking the enemy chariots, and then you just continue on like that, and you should be able to beat any archer-based army. But the real problem here is that the fact that there's cavalry, there's scorpion men, and there's only one spearman, which is a little bit sad, but the scorpion men and the cavalry really deal with the Norse army so ridiculously well. So what really needs to happen is Hersa need to come out, and all that other junk needs to come out. Hersa and Giles, but looks like Brickhead's never going to get to the heroic age at this stage. He's going to have to pretty much fight Mista, and with 22 gold, it doesn't look like he can really do much. Mista now getting aggressive, going to take this town centre, stop Brickhead from ever securing it, which is going to be really strong for Mista, and he's going to be able to keep on pushing ahead in supply, pushing ahead in economy. And we do see a nice raid going on here. We're going to pick up quite a few villages, so this is a nice win for Brickhead right here. He's probably going to pick off 3 or 4 villages here if he's lucky before these guys get over here, and he's going to have to retreat around about now as soon as he sees these guys. And yep, and he's going to retreat. He's not going to lose. Oh, he's going to lose one. No. Yeah, he loses 1 raiding cavalry there. A little bit upsetting for Brickhead, but he did manage to pick off 3 villages with that raid. So really nice play by him there. And now we just see that town centre getting up, and he's going to start building villages out of there shortly, I'm sure. We do see Horus almost researched, so it's been a bit of a semi-fast mythic by Mista. He only had 1 town centre for a long time, so that means he could get to the heroic mythic edge really quickly. And we do see a nice raid here. He's picking off a couple of units here for free, not losing any units in return, basically. We do see Horus coming now. Horus on that town centre preventing a mythic age from, heroic age from Brickhead will be really powerful and probably secure the win. And we do see more raids going on. He's split up. Brickhead's really raiding well. If he didn't fall so far behind, he'd be doing quite nice. And we do see the tornado coming down here. He's going to do quite a lot of damage to that town centre. If Mista is lucky, that tornado will stay there and it'll finish off that town centre. It looks like it's going to do that, so that's going to hurt Brickhead exponentially. Like, he's not going to be able to get that town centre back up. He doesn't have the wood. He's got the gold, he doesn't have the wood. And he doesn't really have any infantry to build that up any quicker than he can. And basically that's pain right there. You're in a world of hurt if you don't have any town centres, you got no infantry either, and you don't have any wood. Like, as Norse, it's hard to keep playing from that situation. We do see Mista finally pushing Brickhead off that gold mine, and Brickhead's sitting at 400 gold though, so he's still got quite a bit as he does tap out. It says GG. So it was interesting. Watching this game was interesting. Like, what happens in my eyes is Brickhead was doing fine from the early aggression. The early aggression wasn't what made Brickhead lose this game, as most people would think it was. Brickhead lost 2 villages in Oxcart, and then he didn't do anything in the Classical Age. Like, he sort of whimpered around. What was the problem is the fact that Brickhead couldn't get to the Heroic Age before the Ancestors' attack happened. This wasn't because he lost 2 villages in Oxcart. This was because his economic management and his army management was poor. What needed to happen from his side was he needed to lose less units, and he needed to have a better economic distribution. He had, I think, 7 villages or something on wood at some point. While that would be good if your opponent was hard classical fighting, but he wasn't hard classical fighting, he was doing some sort of semi-fast rowing, which comes down to scouting. So Brickhead didn't scout. He put 7 villages on wood instead of all these villages that he should have had on food and gold to get to the Heroic Age, and he tried to fight off Mista, and he simply couldn't. So it was GG nonetheless. Unless all the mistakes had happened. Mista played well. He did manage to get that early aggression off, and he did manage to hit that Ancestors' Tiding, which was really nice, picking off that town centre, which Brickhead couldn't do anything against because he didn't have Frost. And then he just simply straight to the Mythic Age, killed town centre, standard, GG, well played by Mista. It's always lovely watching his games. Thank you guys for watching. I'll hopefully get some more videos out in the near future, and I'll see you guys next time.